Defense probably had its best game of the year
Sure.
at Saturday at ODU.
Yeah.
I guess, how much was that needed, not just in terms of the result, but for morale and getting kind of back on track to the Western Kentucky defensive ways?
For sure, I think it was much needed, because the kids, like I always say every week, they work hard, extremely hard. They're always here. They're always putting in the effort. And, just to get that return back, I think it gave them life, gave them a breath of fresh air to keep them going, keep them engaged, and keep them hungry for more.
I think Jawan talked about the, I guess the difference in schematically that y'all played. I guess what went into that, and are you expecting to keep that going into FIU?
Yeah, well, the main thing, we're just trying to get the pieces in the right place, to allow our guys to be successful. Like I said, it's been a lot of people have played. It's been kind of been a revolving door at a lot of positions. So just trying to find ways to get those guys on the field and make sure that they're comfortable in what we're doing so that they can execute at a high level.
I guess what schematically, if you can say, schematically, what was the difference?
Not much different. I mean, just moving the pieces around. I wouldn't say it's like us changing our structure or doing any new coverages or anything like that. It was more about just, hey, put this guy here, put this guy there so they got a chance to be successful. It was more about the personnel than the actual scheme.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of pressure on their quarterback last week. D'Angelo had that strip sack. Mike Pitts had a sack. Will was flying in there all the time. How are you going to kind of try to repeat that against FIU this coming week?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough. But that's our guys, though. They've been working, and like I said, like a few weeks ago, we've been close. We just haven't made those plays. And I think, last week we finally got an opportunity to get the guy on the ground, to make the play, to make the tackle. And like I said, I gave those guys that boost. So I think it's just a continued mindset of now really believing that, hey, I can make that play, and I got to continue to make that play.
In terms of FIU on film, what's the scouting report on those guys?
They're a talented bunch. A lot of explosive plays. Probably one of the longest explosive plays I've seen this season. They throw the ball down the field, left, right, middle. The running backs, catches like a 2-yard pass, and he'll take it for 15 to 20. Dynamic receivers on the outside, very athletic O-line. Very good pieces. They've been in some games. For one reason or another, hasn't gone their way, but I think they're a talented bunch that's hungry and looking for a win.
The quarterback's been hot and cold. I talked to Jawan about this, but I guess schematically, how do y'all match up against him? And what are you expecting from him in the game?
Yeah, I think they're going to try to throw the football. That's what they do best, and obviously got a really talented runner. They kind of use his play action fakes and some max protection stuff to protect him, to let him throw the ball down the field. And the receivers do a really good job of being aggressive and fighting for the football. A lot of times receivers are kind of fade or let you push them away, but their receiving corps does a great job of fighting to the last possible second and coming up with some impressive catches. So, I think we got to do a good job of trying to continue to fight up front against max protection. It's hard to get home against that. It's also tough when the quarterback's throwing the ball, and it's going to be some one-on-one situation on the outside.
I guess going to the wide receivers, last week or the week before, UTSA, y'all didn't have, or y'all lost some of those 50-50 plays, but and then last week y'all won a lot of them, especially on the fourth down. I think Edwards had a really big pass breakup. I guess, what was the difference, do you think, in your players, in those 50-50 matchups?
I think it's just reps. A lot of times I think it's hard to be out there on an island at corner, especially when you don't have a ton of experience. So to go against different receivers with trying to remember the scheme, trying to remember the down and distance, I got all this stuff in my brain, but as you start to play more, you start to get more confident. The more film you watch, it's like, oh, I've seen this stem before. I've seen this route combination, and it's like, oh my gosh, the ball is right there. Now you get a little bit more confident in making those plays with every rep that you take, and I think that's kind of where we were. Just guys trying to find themselves and get comfortable in their playmaking ability, and we finally got an opportunity to make some plays, and we made them.